Imagine this. You're sitting at your kitchen table tomorrow morning, pouring your usual cup of coffee. Same routine you've had for 20, maybe 30 years. But what if I told you that by adding just half a teaspoon of one common spice, something that's probably sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now, you could block up to 40% of the sugar from the foods you eat from ever entering your bloodstream? Sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, a growing body of scientific research says otherwise. And here's the part that really matters. This is especially powerful for people over the age of 60. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could genuinely change the way you start every single morning. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we focus on simple, practical health information designed specifically for adults over 60. No gimmicks, no hype. Just real science broken down in a way that actually makes sense. Now, today we're talking about something that affects millions of seniors across America, and that is blood sugar. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 48% of adults over the age of 65 have prediabetes. Nearly 30% have full-blown type 2 diabetes. And here's the troubling part. Many of them don't even know it. High blood sugar doesn't always announce itself loudly. It creeps in quietly. You feel a little more tired than usual. Your vision gets a tiny bit blurry. You notice you're getting up to use the bathroom more often at night. These things are easy to brush off. Oh, I'm just getting older, you tell yourself. But underneath the surface, elevated blood sugar is silently damaging your blood vessels, your kidneys, your nerves, and even your brain. So, when researchers discovered that one particular spice, one that humans have been using for thousands of years, has a remarkable ability to interfere with how your body absorbs sugar, the medical community paid very close attention. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what this spice is, how it works inside your body, what the research actually says, and most importantly, how you can start using it safely and effectively starting tomorrow morning. Let's get into it. So what is this mystery spice? Drum roll, please. It's cinnamon. Now, before you think, oh, cinnamon, that's it, hear me out. Because the cinnamon you sprinkle on your oatmeal or your apple pie is doing things inside your body that scientists are still marveling at. This isn't folk medicine. This isn't your grandmother's old wives' tale. Although, let's be honest, grandma was usually right about these things. This is backed by published peer-reviewed research from institutions around the world. Cinnamon comes from the inner bark of trees in the cinnamomum family, and it's been used medicinally for over 4,000 years. Ancient Egyptian physicians prescribed it. Traditional Chinese medicine has relied on it for centuries. But it wasn't until modern science caught up that we began to understand exactly why it's so powerful, particularly when it comes to blood sugar. Here's what makes cinnamon remarkable for anyone over 60. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing sugar. Our cells gradually become more resistant to insulin. That's the hormone your pancreas makes to help sugar move from your blood into your cells, where it can be used for energy. When your cells resist insulin, sugar stays in your blood longer than it should. That's when damage starts happening. Cinnamon addresses this problem from multiple angles, and we're going to break down each one. But let me start with the headline finding that has researchers so excited. A landmark study published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition found that cinnamon contains specific compounds, particularly one called methyl hydroxychalcone polymer, but let's just call it MHCP to keep things simple, that can mimic the action of insulin in your body. In practical terms, this means cinnamon helps your cells open up and accept sugar from the bloodstream more efficiently, even when your natural insulin isn't working as well as it used to. But here's where the sugar absorption part comes in, and this is truly fascinating. When you eat food, say, a piece of toast, a bowl of oatmeal, or even a banana, your digestive system breaks down the carbohydrates into glucose, which is just a simple sugar. Normally, enzymes in your stomach and small intestine work quickly to break those carbs down and shuttle that glucose into your bloodstream. That's what causes your blood sugar to spike after a meal. Cinnamon contains natural compounds that interfere with those digestive enzymes. Specifically, it inhibits an enzyme called alpha-glucosidase, which is one of the key enzymes responsible for breaking down complex carbohydrates into absorbable sugar. When this enzyme is partially blocked, carbohydrates pass through your system more slowly. Less sugar gets absorbed all at once. Your blood sugar rises more gently, more gradually, instead of spiking like a roller coaster. Research published in the journal Phytomedicine demonstrated that cinnamon extract could reduce the rate of sugar absorption by up to 40% after a carbohydrate-rich meal. 40%. Think about that for a moment. That means if you had a meal that would normally send 100 units of sugar rushing into your blood all at once, cinnamon could slow that down so that only about 60 units hit your bloodstream at the same pace. The rest gets absorbed slowly, gradually, giving your body time to process it properly. Now, let me ask you something. If your doctor told you about a medication that could reduce sugar absorption by 40%, you'd probably ask for the prescription immediately, right? Well, this isn't a medication. It's a spice that costs about $3 at your local grocery store. And here's the part that makes it even more relevant for seniors. A separate study published in Diabetes Care followed 60 participants with type 2 diabetes. They were given small amounts of cinnamon daily, as little as 1 gram, which is roughly half a teaspoon. After just 40 days, their fasting blood glucose levels dropped by an average of 18 to 29%. Their bad cholesterol went down, their triglycerides went down, all from half a teaspoon of cinnamon per day. Let me say that again, half a teaspoon. That's it. Now, you might be wondering, why specifically in coffee? Can't you just take cinnamon any way you want? You absolutely can. But there are several brilliant reasons why your morning coffee is the ideal way to get your daily cinnamon, especially for seniors. First, it's a habit you already have. And here's something every doctor knows. The best health intervention is the one you'll actually stick with. If you already drink coffee every morning, adding half a teaspoon of cinnamon to it requires virtually no effort. There's no new pill to remember, no special supplement to order online. You just stir it in. Second, coffee itself has blood sugar benefits. This surprises a lot of people, but research published in the Annals of Internal Medicine shows that regular coffee consumption is associated with a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Coffee contains chlorogenic acid, which also helps slow glucose absorption. So when you combine coffee with cinnamon, you're essentially creating a 1-2 punch against blood sugar spikes. The two work together synergistically. Third, and this is a practical point many people don't think about, cinnamon naturally sweetens your coffee. Many seniors add sugar, honey, or flavored creamers to their coffee to make it more enjoyable. But cinnamon gives your coffee a warm, slightly sweet flavor without adding a single gram of sugar. So not only is cinnamon blocking sugar absorption from the foods you eat, it's also helping you reduce the sugar you add to your drinks. That's a double win. Here's how to do it properly. Brew your coffee the way you normally do. While it's still hot, add half a teaspoon of cinnamon directly to your cup. Stir it well. Some people like to add it to the coffee grounds before brewing, which works beautifully too. It allows the hot water to extract the beneficial compounds directly during the brewing process. Either method works. Start with half a teaspoon and see how you like the taste. Most people find it delicious and wonder why they didn't try it sooner. Now, I want to pause here for an important moment. If you're over 60, or if you're caring for an elderly loved one, this information could genuinely make a meaningful difference in daily health management. Blood sugar issues affect almost every aspect of aging, from energy levels to cognitive function to heart health to wound healing. Something as simple as adding cinnamon to your morning coffee is the kind of small change that can create real, lasting benefits over time. So if you're finding this helpful, please take a second to hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone you love. You never know whose morning routine you might change for the better. Now, blocking sugar absorption is remarkable on its own. But cinnamon doesn't stop there. Let me walk you through 4 additional benefits that are particularly meaningful for adults over 60. Benefit number 1. It fights inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest silent threats to senior health. It contributes to arthritis, heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, and even certain cancers. Cinnamon is loaded with powerful anti-inflammatory compounds, including cinnamaldehyde, which is the compound that gives cinnamon its distinctive smell and flavor. Studies show that regular cinnamon consumption can significantly reduce markers of inflammation in the body. If you wake up with stiff, achy joints, this is one more reason to reach for that cinnamon jar. Benefit number 2, it supports brain health. This one is close to many of our hearts. Research from Rush University Medical Center found that cinnamon may help protect the brain from changes associated with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. The compounds in cinnamon appear to reduce the buildup of a protein called tau in the brain, which is directly linked to Alzheimer's progression. While cinnamon is certainly not a cure for dementia, the idea that a daily spice could offer some level of neuroprotection is incredibly encouraging, and it's being actively studied right now. Benefit number 3, it supports heart health. Heart disease remains the #1 killer of Americans over 60. Cinnamon has been shown to reduce total cholesterol, lower LDL, that's the bad cholesterol, and reduce triglyceride levels, all while maintaining or even slightly improving HDL, the good cholesterol. It also helps reduce blood pressure. A meta-analysis of 9 clinical studies concluded that cinnamon supplementation produced significant reductions in systolic and diastolic blood pressure. For anyone managing heart health, this is meaningful. Benefit number 4, it has antimicrobial properties. As we age, our immune systems naturally weaken. This makes us more susceptible to infections, particularly bacterial and fungal infections. Cinnamon has natural antimicrobial properties that can help fight harmful bacteria in the gut and even improve oral health. Some research suggests it can combat H. pylori, a common stomach bacteria that causes ulcers and digestive problems in older adults. So let's add this all up. 1/2 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon in your morning coffee can help block sugar absorption, reduce inflammation, protect your brain, support your heart, and boost your immune defenses from one simple spice. Now, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't share some very important cautions with you, because not all cinnamon is created equal, and there are some things every senior needs to know before they start. First, know your cinnamon types. There are 2 main types of cinnamon you'll find in stores. The first is cassia cinnamon, which is the most common variety sold in American supermarkets. It's darker in color, has a stronger flavor, and is less expensive. The second is Ceylon cinnamon, sometimes called true cinnamon. It's lighter in color, has a more delicate flavor, and is slightly more expensive. Here's why this matters. Cassia cinnamon contains significant amounts of a compound called coumarin. In large doses, coumarin can be harmful to your liver. The European Food Safety Authority has set a tolerable daily intake for coumarin, and if you're consuming a full teaspoon or more of cassia cinnamon every day, you could potentially exceed that limit over time. Ceylon cinnamon, on the other hand, contains only trace amounts of coumarin, roughly 63 times less than cassia. So if you plan to consume cinnamon daily, which I encourage, I strongly recommend seeking out Ceylon cinnamon. You can find it at most health food stores, and it's widely available online. Look for packaging that specifically says Ceylon or true cinnamon. It's worth the small extra cost, especially for daily use. Second, watch for medication interactions. This is critically important, and many seniors ignore this warning. If you're taking diabetes medications, particularly metformin, sulfonylureas, or insulin, adding cinnamon to your daily routine could potentially cause your blood sugar to drop too low. This is called hypoglycemia, and it can be dangerous. Symptoms include dizziness, shakiness, confusion, sweating, and in severe cases, loss of consciousness. Similarly, if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin, cinnamon, especially cassia cinnamon, can enhance the blood thinning effect and increase your risk of bleeding. The bottom line, if you take any prescription medications, especially for diabetes, blood pressure, or blood clotting, please talk to your doctor before adding daily cinnamon to your routine. This isn't about being overly cautious, it's about being smart. Third, start slowly. Begin with 1/4 teaspoon in your morning coffee for the first week. See how your body responds. If you feel good, gradually increase to 1/2 teaspoon. There's no need to rush this. 1/2 teaspoon daily is the sweet spot that most studies have found effective. More is not necessarily better. Fourth, cinnamon is not a replacement for medical treatment. I want to be very clear about this. If you have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, cinnamon should be viewed as a supportive addition to your existing treatment plan, not a replacement. Continue taking your prescribed medications. Continue following your doctor's dietary advice. Continue monitoring your blood sugar. Think of cinnamon as a powerful teammate, not a substitute. Now, while your morning coffee is the simplest and most convenient way to get your daily cinnamon, let me share a few other easy ways to incorporate it throughout your day. Oatmeal. If you eat oatmeal in the morning, and many of you wisely do, sprinkle a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon on top. It pairs beautifully with oatmeal and can reduce the glycemic impact of those carbohydrates. Smoothies. If you enjoy a morning smoothie, cinnamon blends wonderfully with bananas, berries, yogurt, and almond milk. It adds warmth and complexity to the flavor. Toast. Instead of sugary jam, try a thin spread of almond butter with a light dusting of cinnamon on whole grain toast. It's delicious and blood sugar friendly. Tea. If you're not a coffee drinker, cinnamon works beautifully in black tea, green tea, or even just hot water with a squeeze of lemon. Cinnamon tea has been a traditional remedy in many cultures for centuries. Soups and stews. This one surprises people, but a pinch of cinnamon in savory dishes, particularly sweet potato soup, butternut squash soup, or even chili, adds a subtle depth of flavor that's wonderful. The key is consistency. The benefits of cinnamon aren't from one heroic dose. They come from small, regular amounts consumed daily over weeks and months. It's the accumulation of those tiny daily habits that creates meaningful change in your health. Let me share a quick story. A viewer named Margaret, 73 years old, from Ohio, wrote to us a few months ago. She said she'd been struggling with her fasting blood sugar numbers for over a year. Her doctor was considering adding another medication. She started putting half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon in her morning coffee every day. After about 6 weeks, her fasting glucose had dropped by 22 points. Her doctor was impressed. Now, Margaret's story isn't a guarantee. Everyone's body is different. But it shows you the potential of this simple daily habit. You know, one thing I've learned from years of researching health topics for seniors is that the most powerful changes are rarely dramatic. They're not about extreme diets or intense exercise programs or expensive supplements. They're about small, sustainable adjustments to the things you're already doing. Adding cinnamon to your morning coffee takes about 5 seconds. It costs pennies per day. It requires no willpower, no lifestyle overhaul, no special equipment. But over the course of weeks, months, and years, that tiny habit interacts with your body in profound ways, slowing sugar absorption, calming inflammation, protecting your neurons, supporting your cardiovascular system. And here's what I really want you to understand. After the age of 60, your body doesn't have the same resilience it once did. The margin for error gets smaller. That's not meant to scare you, it's meant to empower you. Because it means that small positive changes have an even greater impact than they would have 20 years ago. Your body notices, your body responds. Every good choice matters more now than ever before. So if you've been looking for one simple thing you can do tomorrow morning to start taking better care of your blood sugar, your inflammation levels, and your overall health, this is it. Half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon in your morning coffee. Let me quickly summarize everything we've covered today so you can remember the key points. Number 1, cinnamon, specifically the compounds it contains, can block up to 40% of sugar absorption after meals by inhibiting the digestive enzyme alpha-glucosidase. This prevents blood sugar spikes and gives your body more time to process glucose properly. Number 2, your morning coffee is the ideal way to take it because it's a habit you already have. Coffee itself has complementary blood sugar benefits, and cinnamon naturally reduces your need for added sugar. Number 3, beyond blood sugar, cinnamon fights chronic inflammation, supports brain health, improves cholesterol and blood pressure, and has natural antimicrobial properties. Number 4, always choose Ceylon cinnamon over cassia for daily use. Ceylon has dramatically less coumarin and is safer for long-term consumption. Number 5, start with a quarter teaspoon and work up to half a teaspoon daily. Be consistent. The magic is in the daily habit. Number 6, if you take medications for diabetes, blood pressure, or blood clotting, consult your doctor before starting. Cinnamon is powerful and it can interact with certain drugs. Number 7, cinnamon is a complement to medical care, not a replacement. It's one powerful tool in your health toolbox, but it works best alongside proper medical treatment and healthy lifestyle choices. Friends, I want to leave you with this thought. You've spent decades taking care of your families, building your careers, and pouring your energy into the people you love. Now it's time to pour a little of that care back into yourself. And sometimes, taking care of yourself is as simple as reaching into your spice cabinet and adding half a teaspoon of cinnamon to your morning cup of coffee. You don't have to overhaul your entire life. You don't have to spend a fortune on supplements. You just have to make one small, intentional choice every morning. And over time, that choice adds up to something truly powerful. Your health is your greatest treasure. Protect it, nurture it, and never believe that it's too late to make a difference, because it absolutely is not. If this video was helpful to you, I have a small favor to ask. First, please hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss our weekly health tips designed specifically for adults over 60. Second, share this video with someone you care about, your spouse, your sibling, your best friend, your adult children. You never know who might benefit from hearing this today. And third, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Do you already use cinnamon? Have you noticed any changes in your health from it? Or is this something you're going to try tomorrow morning? Let me know. I read every single comment, and your stories inspire future videos. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself, you deserve it, and I'll see you in the next one.